What's good, YouTube? This is your boy Elder Sage coming at you with the first battle of the league, the APL. This is me against Cammy. He's relatively new at leagues. This is his first competitive battle, but he's been doing a lot of Wi-Fi battles and everything, so he's not like a nub or anything. But as for me, this was my team. I had a bunch of things I could have brought, but I didn't bring certain things just because I wanted to throw him off. I had the Zoroark, the Sableye and everything. I had the Beware, Musharna, Gardevoir, and as you can see, he has the Florges, Magneton, Landos, Umbreon, Lucario, Regirock, and you guys can tell, like, by this Florges is probably gonna be an issue because I got all those Darkmons and everything. It's not, I don't know, it just seems like a really sticky situation because he's supposed to have Cresselia, but he didn't bring that, so it kind of threw me off. But you guys can see the first lead Sableye. I knew he was gonna lead with Florges because he knew I was gonna lead with this, but I just wanted to Mega and just keep him around because I didn't want rocks up. But then again, when I think about it more, it doesn't really make sense. Like I was just like having like issues like building this team because I was first thinking about bringing maybe Dugtrio and just some mons that it would have mattered to have rocks up. So it's kind of, I don't know. My whole train of thought was messed up. So he set up the Calm Mind right there, and that's when I started to freak out because there is nothing I can do at this point. My Sableye, he wasn't really built for this. He was more built as a counter for his Lando and other physical attackers. I honestly was not thinking about Florges at all. But I brought out the Musharna. I didn't really know what I was going to do with it, but I just switched it in. I think the better choice would have been to switch in Gardevoir, but there you go, Moana. She's in there to put in some work. I kind of like how it looks. I thought it was kind of ugly, but when it does things, yeah. So he fired off the Moonblast right there, and it did a lot, but it didn't really do as much. I was still able to manage to get the Trick Room up, and mind you, I have like 0 special defense investment, just max HP and max defense. So I set up the Trick Room right here. I initially did not, well, I set up the Trick Room, then I set up the light screen. I initially thought about putting in Reflect, but then I thought it would be overkill, and I did expect to die right here, but I still lived, and I was like, come on, that's kind of cool, but I didn't really need you to do that. So I used the Healing Wish just in case he tries to set up, and he did try to set up right there, so it was a good call because he would have just used me as setup bait. I wish I had like Taunt or something. But anyways, I switched into the Beware, and now is where things were kind of getting funky because I initially planned to have a Life Orb on it, but then I accidentally put a Choice Band on it, so I completely forgot about things, and it did a lot of damage right there. But then when he used a Citrus Berry, I was really annoyed because this Florges is just proven that it's so annoying. But as you guys see, I'm about to take a friggin' +3 boosted Moonblast, and I lived. That was insane. I have no clue how I was able to live. Actually, I do kind of have a clue. It's max special defense, but I was still pretty impressed by how hard it hit me, and I was able to take it. So I knew this was an obvious thing. Why would he sacrifice his Florges? Because I have Zoroark, I got Sableye, I got Beware. Initially I have Emboar. I was supposed to bring it, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, I decided to like not bring Emboar so I could bring in Zoroark, because if he had Cresselia, I would have been a much more difficult. I would have probably been in a much more sticky situation. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I really didn't need to bring Zoroark, but it kind of does something for me. Anyways, I switched in right here to the Sableye because I knew he was going to switch, and I took that pretty well because of the light screen. But I do wish I didn't have light screen at that point because I used Metal Burst, and as you guys can see, I get so close to the KO. But then if I just had no light screen up, I would have definitely been able to take that. But then if I didn't, my Beware would have been screwed, and I don't know. Okay, so right here is when I bring in the Gardevoir. The reason why I also wanted to not just start bringing in Gardevoir is because I wanted to just stall out the Trick Room a bit so I could do my little strategy. So here I had Encore, and I kind of wish he didn't have synthesis and he had like wish or something. But anyways, I decided to set up the encore on him, so now he's just basically stuck in a loop. I can basically just keep putting him in encore until he runs out of PP, because I realize I don't really have much options, so I have to do something. And as slimy and crazy and fugazi as that is, that was my only option. But then obviously he decided to switch out, and I knew he was gonna switch out because why would he keep it in? So I decided, you know what, let me just throw a focus blast. And I was like, damn, I didn't miss. And I know right there he was probably super salty, because I was kind of thinking I'm literally about to get like sweeped. But then once he lost that magneton, that just made everything so good for me. And also I'm pretty sure he brought in that magneton because I have Toxapex. So that would have, if I brought in Toxapex, I think this match would have went a lot differently. But the reason why I didn't bring Toxapex is because he has Lando, and he has Lando, he has Regirock. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't bring Toxapex. I mean, I also didn't bring it because I wanted to throw him off, because I knew he would probably over prep for it, so he would be just thinking about that. But I think I would have kind of needed it, because I would just come in and just haze and just be out. But beware is out, now out. At that point he kind of did everything he needed to do for me. And right here is when I sent in Zoroark, but he didn't know it was Zoroark. But I was just thinking, I'm like, yo, he has different HP than him. But all I really wanted to do was to come in so he would set up on me, but then I would just U-turn out, and then I would just bring in Gardevoir and just encore him. And right here we see if he takes the bait or not. Let's just see. Because if right here, if I made a misplay and he just hit me with a Moonblast, that would have really sucked. Gardevoir I think needs like Recover or Moonlight or something. And he did take the bait, because right here he uses Calm Mind. And I get him in the encore. I really wish I did have like Psyshock or something, because that would have been a lot more helpful to me, because this thing is really annoying in terms of special defense. I don't know why I didn't bring it. I was just thinking about, I really wasn't thinking about Florges at all. I don't know why I overlooked this very weakness of my team. And it's like, it's not even my whole team that has this very weakness, because my other mons can easily handle this. But I don't know, I was just thinking too linear once I see Cresselia, because that's really like if you really mess up, Cresselia can really end your life. And I also don't know why I didn't have Toxic on any one of my mons. I'm pretty sure when I was team building I had Toxic on one of my mons, but then I don't know, man. I think it was on Sableye until I decided to put in the Metal Burst and the Foul Play. But then now I'm thinking about it, I should have just kept Protect, Toxic, Metal Burst, and then Recover, rather than taking out the, I don't know, that was a bad decision, because a lot of times Sableye could survive one hit, and you could usually just Toxic a Fairy type, or you could just Metal Burst it and just ruined your day. But that's not how things decide to go out. Sometimes prep is really what wins a battle. So he brought in this Lucario, and right here is like, I don't know if he's max speed, but I didn't really want to take the chance, and I'm so glad I didn't take the chance, because he had Bullet Punch, and that would have been really like, that would have been very inconvenient, because it would have turned things around a lot. But you guys can see Zapdos is being a tank as usual. It takes everything well, and I use Hidden Power. I knew the Hidden Power wouldn't KO it, but I just thought he was gonna switch into Lando, so I just used it right there. And the Discharge, because I'm trying to get the 30% paralysis, and he thought I was gonna switch too. But what am I switching for? I'm in here. Because what he doesn't know is I have a Chardy Berry, so if he decides to hit me with a Stone Edge, as he decides right here, I took that junk like a boss. I could have probably took one like without, I could have took one without any effort, But right here is when I was just kind of thinking like Stone Edge has like a crit chance, and that's I'm really not trying to get crit in the middle of things. So right here he brought out the Lando, and I'm not really sure what kind of set Lando is, but I really suspected it was special defense. No, not special defense. I was thinking it's more of like a scarfed Lando. So he used the thing, and then I was kind of surprised. I was surprised he used sword dance, because now he's setting up on me and things are getting really bad, because I don't really have any answers to this. So right here I just started to roost up, because I'm hoping that if he was using a quick claw. I don't know why he decided to use 2. It's like sometimes when somebody gets really greedy, it just like turns around and bites them. And he survived right there with that kind of HP, which was really unfortunate, because if I just got like a different kind of roll, I could have messed him up. And he missed the Stone Edge, and that was really unfortunate. But then I think it's unfortunate that I didn't get the KO on that one. But then anyways, and also he had the Quick Claw. I was like, damn, people using Quick Claw now? So brought out the Florges again. Florges is just so annoying throughout this whole match. Like I've never encountered something so wally. Like I don't know. It's really if I was able to get rid of this Florges, I think I would be less stressed out during this match. So he set up the Calm Mind again, and I decided to bring in the whole match is just basically me trying to find ways on how I can mess up this Florges and just trick him into setting up, because Florges, it needs to set up, but then again it also doesn't, because it has Moonblast, and Moonblast is an OP move. It's like 95 base power, so even if your special attack is low. And right here he uses the Z move. I was scared, because a Swords Dance Z move, I have no idea what it was, but all out pummeling, I can see that right now, and I'm just thinking, yo, Zapdos, please be the GOAT right here, just please survive. And then he took that really good, and I was like, whew. Zapdos is a wall, everybody knows this. So I got rid of that, and I know he's probably pretty salty right now, because nobody wants that to happen to him. And right here I knew he might think I might switch in, so he might try to hit me with a Moonblast, but he didn't. So then things got like really messy, because now I don't expect him to get whatchamacallit, greedy and try to set up more. So I thought he might just use another Moonblast, and I was right. I stayed in. That was a good play on my part. I just decided to sack Zapdos at this point, because if I switched into Zoroark, well, anything else, I would have got messed up. So right here is Zoroark again, and I'm basically trying to do, I tried to see if I could get him with the same trick. U-turn out, he probably thinks it's Sableye, but either one, it would have still been good. And right here, I guess I made the right decision, because he used Synthesis and he got healed up on me. And as you guys already know, I'm going to set up the Encore, because that's the only play I got. So Encore, I'm just thinking, like, do I just PP stall him? Like, there's really no way I can defeat this thing. I don't have Psyshock. All I can do is just do this. And right here I was just kind of thinking, like, it was probably him just trying to Synthesis on purpose, so he can have some more HP, and like that Umbreon is a tank. Usually they're like bold natured, but he decided to have 2 special defense walls, and I was mainly a physical. I don't know, he was just ready for me, so he used Foul Play on me right there. I have like barely any attack investment, so it did like the least amount. At least that's what I think. So he brought in the Florges right here, and I know at this point he's just going to straight up fire off a Moonblast, because if he does anything ridiculous, he's literally about to get stuck. So I brought in a Zoroark, and Beware got exposed. And then I brought in the Sableye, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, Sableye usually can survive it can survive a Moonblast from a Tapu Fini, but then I don't know why that one did so much damage to me. I was literally thinking maybe he does have some special attack investment. And right here I decided I'm about to lose, so I might just hit off my Z move. So I brought out the Shatter Psyche. I'm like, let's go. And as you guys can see, when that damage was rolling down, I was like, what? I was literally like, whoa, hold on a minute. That junk is, it had me, I was getting pretty happy for a second, but then it didn't completely finish, as you guys already know, and that means I didn't win. And yeah, the whole match was pretty intense to me. I haven't really had such a crazy match before. I mean, most of them, like, you kind of know what's gonna happen, but this one, even though I knew I wasn't in like the best position, I was really going at it hard, and I'm just glad I was able to last that long and get the differential to 0-1, because that's easily recoverable. Next week I faced Necrostevo. I thought it was this week, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm not trying to have like a lose streak, especially because I've been on a break from leagues. I'm trying to come back strong, but sometimes you're rusty. We'll find out next week though. This was your boy Elder Sage, and we out.